Again, good afternoon. Welcome to the free market update here for Tuesday's trade, Simpler Futures. And so this is the S&P. It's a daily chart. It's S&P on the left over here, ES Futures. And then over here on the right, you got NASDAQ. And the reason I want to point this out is to kind of just reference the lead up. For one, just one thing, the lead up into this pullback in the NASDAQ was just so strong, just amazing, really. As compared to here, I mean, we did, pretty well, but a lot of sideways, right? A lot of sideways leading up into that, the big pullback of last week. All of this trade, going back all throughout this last month or whatever, has a volume point of control. The point of control for all of that trade in the S&P right there is 23.86.5. So I'm going to say that the line in the sand here is exactly that, is 86.5. Call it 85 to 87 window, whatever, but the actual print is 86.5. So what I find interesting is that on this recovery, we're coming back to, let me clean this up. We're coming back on both the NASDAQ over here and the S&Ps. We're coming back to right about where we broke from, is pretty significant. Now, here it is at, what time is it? 3:30 in the afternoon. About to go into the Globex session, and the S&Ps were last at 92 and some change here. In looking at this last candle, what I can see is maybe a little bit of a bid overnight into about right there on that, be about 96, and then come back and settle in on this 86 area. Because the normal overnight range is about 10 points anyway. But a lot of people watching this video don't care about overnight stuff. They want to know about, tomorrow and the next day and that kind of thing. So in looking at the calendar over the course of the week, I noticed that we got a little bit on the calendar tomorrow. I mean, not a lot, but a little bit. And then on Wednesday, it seemed to, really be the big day. Now tomorrow, there's some, overnight tonight, there's some European stuff with some numbers out of Germany and that kind of stuff. Tomorrow you've got Fed member, I think Kashkari speaks, and some other little stuff. But now Wednesday is a big news day. ECB President Draghi speaks. You got a Bank of Canada rate decision. You got some U.S. news like existing home sales and that kind of stuff. You got crude inventories, and then also the FOMC meeting minutes, as well as some Fed speaker, Fed's Kaplan speaks Wednesday as well. So there's a lot on Wednesday that, and then knowing the calendar, and then looking at these levels that I'm pointing out, it seems that tomorrow could be a sort of low volatility kind of day. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but certainly to settle down a little bit back into the range here in anticipation of Wednesday's numbers, and not only numbers but the news with the Fed minutes and that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm thinking. There's a couple other things that bother me right now. I'm going to go into those in the premium video, but honestly, there are. Looking at the dollar, it's coming into one of our moderators' proprietary indicator called the voodoo lines. The dollar index coming into some voodoo support for likely bounce, while simultaneously the euro is going into some voodoo overhead for, I would imagine, a fade. And so the previous direction being reversed, it appears, at least if even only temporary, that could also throw this, these stocks here and this current course into a temporary change of direction as well. Also looking at things like the yen, it looks like it's got some inability to sit down, a little bit of more room for overhead into about a 91 handle, and the bonds aren't wanting to sit down either. And the bonds went out unchanged today, but the notes went out just slightly lower. So that's a little divergence, and I'd be looking for the bonds if they want to actually maintain a bid tomorrow. That's not going to be real stock friendly either. So that's a few things that are on my mind. It goes a little deeper. There's some stuff going on in gold and that kind of stuff too. I'm gonna go look at that in the premium video real quick, but I've given you a good bit here, to just not to say there's some things on my mind, but to actually show you exactly what. And very importantly, what the over under here is, in my opinion anyway, for the S&Ps, and that's 86.5. And on this bid recovery post break last week, we can see we're coming into where it, coming back to where it broke from. So that's an important level, both on the NASDAQ and the S&Ps. So I put the heads up, especially about midweek, and with our old, turnaround Tuesday thought, that we give it quite often, we could very well see this start into that sideways to little pullback mode tomorrow. All right. Hope it helps. Good trade. Nice evening. Be with you again at the next update.